So, tonight it's the night of the Super Bowl. You could have been watching paid athletes beat the shit out of each other, watching some people half dressed doing halftime shows and all this halloo, but no, you're better than that. Instead, you decided to join us with a game full of mystery, murder, and math. Or alternatively, four gamers trying to help a very confused mole trying to figure out things about life and possibly not dying in 9 hours. Hello, everybody,
Live
and
from the
welcome
guy,
back to 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors.
live from the gigantic on Sunday night. It's
Have you
999.
mulled it over enough, or do you need more time?
I don't know about you guys,
every-
but the only bowl that I care about is Tecmo Bowl on the NES.
Everyone had an intro this time.
Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got two choices, 7 or 8.
Okay, last time
Fuck
we left
that, I'm
off-
taking the third option.
Yeah, he gave us two
Can't choose
options,
3.
and we're gonna be a dick.
If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't really care about watching sports anyway.
So what are you gonna do?
Sports ball is boring and a waste
7
of
or
time,
8.
in my opinion.
Time to choose.
I mean, I will say I wouldn't have such a problem with watching sports, but like a lot of my memories watching it with my dad as a kid was like, it felt like the action to waiting around is surprisingly small. Like,
Yeah.
how many times is there like a timeout or like waiting for them to hike the ball and stuff like that? It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
there.
Yeah, and all
that,
like the
and it's
ads
also-
in between.
That and also because it feels like they treat it with such self-importance. Like, it will interrupt basically anything else it can.
Yeah, they
that
think
can
it's
be
like the
annoying.
most important thing in the world when it's not. You're just watching two teams slap around a puck or
Yeah.
Anyways, we take option number 3.
Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's
It might
nuts!
be
You've got me
important!
crazy! Why the hell are you so obsessed with that door?
Because I've already checked the other two.
I'm just curious about door 3. That's all.
That
and
doesn't
three is
mean
also
shit.
3 is also 9 squared.
No.
Or did I say that wrong?
Three squared.
No, that's the. What is it? Cube root? No, square root.
Yeah, three
Okay.
not 3 is the square root of 9.
I will heavily suggest that we do not interrupt the dialogue much, if at all going further, because this scene is good.
I've got
Okay.
a reason.
Okay.
All right.
I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me. I'm curious about the red. 7,
Wait a
would you
minute.
mind authenticating for me?
You don't have it on the novel
Why?
screen.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Please, just do it.
He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner.
Happy?
Yeah, thanks. The number 7 has been entered into the red. Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did.
Jumpy, what are you trying to figure out?
Ah, yep. I think
Junpei thought about his answer for a moment.
I might have found another way out.
What?
Really?
That got them excited, just as Junpei had intended.
Now please, June.
Oh, okay.
Junpei had what he wanted. He casually placed his own hand on the scanner, and the third asterisk blinked on.
All right, the only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus.
So, what's your point?
You don't get it. Think about it.
Huh?
What's the sum of your number and Clover's?
12.
And what's the digital root of that?
3.
Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red?
7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 18. It would be 9, right?
Yes, and what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that?
3. The door's number.
There you go.
Hey, wait a minute. What the hell are you up to?
I'm not up to anything. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift. Santa, or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting.
God, we are being an asshole.
Yep!
Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us! All that stuff you were going on about is all bullshit!
Bullshit. Huh. I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Why the hell would you do something like this?
Junpei glanced at June.
Jumpy.
You did this just so you could go through the same door as June. That's it?
Santa was furious. His face was red, and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly, and then opened them again.
So, who's it going to be? Santa? Or Lotus and Clover?
Shit!
Let's go, Clover.
Oh, I see what he's doing. He is an asshole.
Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei and the door.
Fuck!
Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover.
No, wait!
Santa did not hesitate. He slammed his hand down on the red.
This is insane! This isn't right!
He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Yeah, well, you may be right,
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort.
but
He turned to the red and pulled the lever. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain open for 9 seconds. There was no time to think.
Go.
Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. No sooner did
Holy
they enter
crap!
than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrists.
I
The
love
detonators
this
had
scene so
activated.
much.
Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door.
No.
You know-
am I
Yes?
being heard?
You're quiet, but we can hear you.
Okay.
I will say, I wonder if this route makes us avoid having Clover see what's left of Snake. They stood still, stopped
I
where
got to
they
take
had
a
been
break.
when Santa reached the red. Defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Then the door closed and they were gone.
You son of a bitch, Junpei! This isn't fair!
Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white.
Do you realize what you just did? You leave them out there, and they can't...
Shut it! That's enough!
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but Seven.
We gotta find the dead or none of this is gonna matter!
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be.
We got less than a minute left! No time for screwing around! Get moving!
Damn it! You and I are not done yet, bastard!
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is it?
Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but every one was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One other door.
Over there! It's gotta be behind the door!
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled.
damn, it's pitch dark inside.
Can't see a thing!
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room.
No, wait!
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall.
I found it! The dead's right over here!
He stepped into the room.
Ugh. What? The floor's slippery!
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was...
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
There's something...
Get over there!
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. The other 3 piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified. Only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Quick! Get to the dead!
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over.
There it is!
In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel.
Oh, that red. That dead is very red.
Yeah. Seven leaned against the
Imagine you
wall,
got this-
gulping air. What?
I said, imagine you got this room first out of those three.
Yeah. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped.
I will say I'm glad to be doing a room 7 again. Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face.
I don't think I'll ever get used to doing this.
What the?
A sound of retching came from Santa's direction.
What the hell is this smell? This is vile. I'm gonna puke.
So desperate had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Oh, you're right. This is...
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked toward it. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers toward the switch.
Okay, guys, I'm flipping it on.
Pushy noise.
There was a soft click as the lights came on. Just as the light turned on, June took in a short breath and... A scream echoes through the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him.
What?
Hey. Oh, this is...
What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh, torn from the body, sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A
Oh,
vast,
please don't describe
ragged
it.
hole had been torn in his torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti.
Oh God, why?
Now,
I've
I
seen
just
worse.
had chicken parmesan for dinner. This is making it worse.
I had
You
spaghetti
know.
the other day.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
was considering making another pot of spaghetti for dinner tonight.
Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried.
Oh
Bodies of
God.
yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall.
Oh God. I
as they
think
tried
I
to.
might actually throw up.
Looks like an explosion.
Seven's voice was low and strained.
Just like the Ninth Man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
I'm trying to remember something particular about Snake, but it's been a hot minute. This is Snake. We found out in one of the other routes they checked out this room.
Yes.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in
The
pieces.
face is the worst.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like a raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce.
Oh.
Pizza.
Oh
No.
ugh. No, it's not pizza time.
Pizza time?
That's a spicy marinara sauce.
His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket, the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
Is that Snake?
Yeah, I seem to recall a conversation with Snake that pointed out that, like, one of his arms is, like, fake. And I think it might have been his
Yes.
left.
That wasn't with Snake. That was actually with Clover.
Yes, and Clover with Indoor 1, if I remember correctly.
It's not door one. It's door 8.
Oh,
That stuff for later.
Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry.
Oh my god.
Just this one. So
Yeah, he only dies this one.
yeah, he only dies in this one. It's just in the other routes where we didn't see this room. After we go through 7 or 8, they double back and they're like, okay, since we found useful keys in 7 and 8, we should check out door 3. And then the people who go into door 3 report that Snake was in there.
Why did this happen?
No!
Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream, full of insanity and not entirely human.
No!
She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing.
Stop! Calm down.
He grabbed for her wrist.
Hey!
But as he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit.
Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
She screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles.
Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
June.
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fists flailed against the door.
Get me out of here! Please! Please! Just let me out!
June.
Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Calm down.
No! Get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
Please, calm down.
She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. Jin collapsed toward the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her. He felt drops of something warm and wet. Was she crying? Of course she is. Who wouldn't? A moment later, she began to sob.
Like, it's like the opposite. She's the only one who has an appropriate reaction. Everyone else is like, oh, huh, this is fucked up. She's the only one that's like...
You know, the layout
Yeah,
of
a
this,
bit interesting.
The layout of this corpse reminds me of the crystallization of glycerin.
This reminds me of a puzzle.
It's right.
Her shoulders shook, and great, hot, heavy tears rolled down her face like rain.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay, Connie.
Her name was a whisper.
I'll be here with you, okay?
She nodded once.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her.
Taze's Discord keeps going off.
Yeah, I'm not
What?
sure what's going on there.
Oh, god damn it. Hold on. I think it's Discord froze.
Yeah.
I'll click restart.
Hold
yeah,
up.
like, no audio is coming through, but... Oh, he'll be back soon. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Do you feel better?
Yes, but I'd like to stay here for a little while at least. Jumpy's body is so warm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it stopped.
Good.
Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
We better get to it.
Loey, you're
Welcome
both
to the
doing
shower
double
room.
duty. Let's. Earth and Loey, you're both doing double duty here. Let's get going.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
I can try doing Santa.
If it helps, you might actually be able to do him with a different voice, considering you shouldn't be doing soft and subdued with Santa. You should be doing loud and smug.
Just tap it back into your inner Fuyuhiko. Remember that you couldn't swallow it all in one gulp.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
A thick pipe that stretches down from the ceiling.
There's blood. Oh, I thought there was blood on that toilet paper, and I panicked.
It's toilet paper with some kind of red symbols on it.
That's Santa's.
Oh, shit.
No, it's 7.
Well, now it's 7.
Now it's 7.
Here.
You think that? Oh, you think that's a Scythe Simps? Oh, I can't even pronounce that.
Scythe.
Scythe
Scythe.
Cipher?
Scythe Cipher. What the hell is that? Oh my god, I cannot do this voice.
I can do both if you want.
Nah.
You wrap a piece of paper around a stick, and then you write several sentences on it, and that whole paper is filled up. Then you unwrap the paper, and you can't tell what the original message was, right? That's how it works, more or less. Then to decipher it, you gotta have a stick that's the same diameter as the original one.
Same diameter as the original one, huh?
Yeah. Then you just wrap the paper around that stick, you can read the code.
Wrap the
Wrap
toilet
the
paper
toilet
around. Oh,
If you wrap the toilet paper around a stick or something. Maybe.
You ever
Like-
wrapped a piece of paper around a pencil and then written on it? That's basically what a Scythe Cipher is.
yeah. So I think I figured out why I keep messing this up. I just assume that when I check something in my inventory, that Junpei is going to be the first one to comment. Wooden box.
wooden
There's something in
box.
here. Hey, it's Luminol!
Luminol, my
The
old
Ace
friend.
Attorney now. Oh crap! Ugh. What the hell is this thing? Some kind of spray bottle? There's something written on it. Lumen. Can't read anything else. The label's all faded.
Let me see that.
He just grabbed it from him. That wasn't very nice.
Oh, this is Luminol. You know, forensics guys is at crime scenes.
Ah, I see Ace Attorney. I see Seven has also played the Ace Attorney games. And Santa, too.
I mean, he has Hobo Phoenix hat, so.
Ah!
He does.
Yeah.
Let's not lie.
Does.
Oh yeah, that stuff that glows blue when you spray it on blood? Even if the blood's been wiped off, it'll still glow.
It's Luminol. You can use it to detect blood. Okay.
Spray it on everything.
What do you think this is?
It's the blue dye. It's the blue dye you put in the toilet seats.
No.
It looks like tar. It's kind of sticky. Ugh, sticky.
Oh my
Pause, eh?
You're a bit quiet.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, so you're really quiet. Uh-oh.
And Discord just crashed.
Oh,
Well, you're still
Oh
audible.
boy.
yeah, you're much easier to hear now.
No, I could literally just close me up now.
What?
Going on with my freaking computer? Holy fuck!
Smack it a few times.
Don't do that.
Well, sometimes, dude, I'm a technician. I know these things.
Well, no. You don't just smack it. We've got a wrench in a toolbox somewhere. You smack it with that, and that's how you repair it. I've played an engineer or two in my day.
90% of the time you gotta power cycle it, and then if it doesn't work, give it a few smacks.
Loey, maybe take
You don't know
over
what
duties
power
for a
cycling
second.
is?
I do. I'm just
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
Okay.
I doubt just pouring water on it's gonna help much either.
What about hot water?
Hot water?
If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot, then maybe that would wash it off.
Well, we don't have hot water. Well, at least the stain is blue than brown. Grab the TP.
They're connected to the tank on the toilet.
Can we look in the tank?
It's a water tank for a toilet.
I've seen a lot of OC guys trying to hide a piece of something like this. Usually for a 187 or something, because they think it's clever. Don't know when they figure that everyone else thinks it's clever too.
Is 187 a gun?
No. Did you never listen to, oh god, what's the band name? 311?
I have no idea what that is.
Never heard of them.
April 27th, 1992. Going 187 on a motherfucking cop?
Never heard of it.
I wasn't born in the 80s. I was a 90s kid. I'm sorry.
That was the 90s!
I was like, what, 3, dude?
Anyway, let's move on before we feel old for remembering.
Sublime, that's the band.
Anyway, it means to shoot someone, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's talking about hiding a gun in there.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Huh? I mean, I know Peace, but what's OC?
Orange County?
Original character.
Do
I
not
have
steal.
108 plus of them.
Organized crime.
What is that? Some kind of police slang?
Huh? Probably.
Yeah, no. Approach it from the other way, Junpei. Huh? What did I say? Why does he look all sad now?
Seven is an undercover cop!
No.
That's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright?
Well, he's not wasting any time.
Yeah, let's not waste any time.
The toilet's tank. It doesn't look like the pipes that are supposed to take water to it are working.
Hey, there's some in there. You see it?
Oh my god, let me click on it. There we go. It's a screwdriver. We can unscrew things with it. Was there something we needed to unscrew somewhere? I don't know, because this is like the first thing I checked. It's a bucket.
Dear God.
The original toilet.
Oh no, don't say that.
Gentlemen, prepare your bucket.
Dear God.
I have a bottle.
It's a tin bucket. Hey, Jumpy, do you remember back in elementary school when you spilled all our paint across the whole classroom? They made you clean it up, and all they gave you was a sponge and a bucket like this. Hey, come on now. Can't we just leave the past in the past?
Isn't there like disciplinary method they use in Japanese schools where you have to stand outside the hall and hold like 2 buckets of water?
Yep.
Maybe.
You didn't examine the mop!
Oh, this is an important mop.
Yep. Oh,
Junpei
It's a broom.
Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June.
The rabbit hutch.
Huh?
He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
Oh, you just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You're always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was.
Don't you remember?
Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean you don't remember that summer either?
She looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that? It was terrible.
They were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of their classroom pets, the rabbits. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school, before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her into the rabbit hutch. The first thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits.
That's fucked up!
Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over. You held my hand, and you looked very serious, and you said, "Don't cry. I'm gonna catch the person who did this." After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we were gonna catch the killer together.
June smiled, and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
Then we decided that we'd ambush them.
Yeah, I remember.
I would have been the same as Junpei. I would have been like, who the fuck killed my rabbits?
Ladies and gentlemen, my absolute favorite track in this game, Recollection.
The school also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. And June's, Akane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget as long as he lived.
But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think all that work amounted to something, you know.
He felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it.
Although, you know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
What do you mean?
She looked up at him, confused.
Oh, come on, we were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something. I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried. Because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously.
You know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject.
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, well, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know?
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it wasn't the rabbits, they were going to make me do something else. You know how that school was. I figured it'd be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't going to tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important.
Really?
Of course.
That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. But it had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her how he'd felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
Well, we don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know? We've got to figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Yes. I'm gonna look over there.
June nodded
Otherwise, we're
curtly.
gonna end up like the guy who just got murdered.
Yeah. Then turned and walked away.
I should get back to it myself.
God,
That's right. The pool of blood.
What's up?
What's up?
Go ahead.
Junpei turned around and looked at the room. At Snake's body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor.
Going on and on about old times right next to a corpse? What were we doing?
You know, I was thinking that at the time. I was like, this is weird.
Well, maybe it was because we're in this mess.
Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him.
I have to survive, no matter the cost. I need to make sure she gets out too.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live.
Gods, I love that song so much.
Santa.
Hmm? What are you doing with the broom?
What if I wrap the toilet paper around the broom?
Oh, so you wrap the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. It says 634 plus.
Ah. So, the key to finding this room is only something that can be used by someone who's over 634 years old. Santa.
There's nothing in the toilet. Sorry.
If there was, that would be pretty gross.
You never know. There might be a key in there. Go on. Reach your hand in there all the way to the back.
No!
There might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up.
Aha!
Hey!
Seven.
Oh,
Chloe?
It's a red card, just in time for sports. Probably a key card. Do you remember if you saw a card reader anywhere around here?
Don't think we did.
Yeah, but I literally have not checked any other view in this room.
About time to now.
Those letters written in blood. LLR. Do you think that might be some sort of dying message from Snake?
No, that's impossible.
11034.
Oh my god. You saw the body. You ain't doing anything after something like that happens to you.
Then this...
The way the blood's dry tells you it's real old. Whoever's blood this is, it ain't Snake's.
Then you're saying this blood was put here a long time ago.
Oh no, wait, I was wrong. It was 11037.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wait. You don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you?
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird to use it here. But maybe I should try, just in case. LR, LRL.
Also, Suki, are there any funny scenes in this room? I doubt it, considering what kind of
Sadly,
room
no,
this is.
not too many.
Aww.
The only really notable ones are, well, there is a couple, but one of them was from repeatedly examining the bucket, and it's not even super duper funny.
Ah.
And then there's like, let me see here. Who is it? Examining the top lock display 3 times and examining the bottom lock display twice. And aside from examining the entrance door after unlocking the exit twice, that's it.
That's where we came in. Guess it's not locked, but there ain't really any point. All that's out there is the number door. Can't go back to the number door even if we wanted to.
A divider between the stalls. On the other side of this wall. No, I don't want to think about that. Alright, let's see if anything happens when I turn you. Nope, nothing. Not even a drop. Is the pipe clogged?
Is my brother using the vacuum? Hold on.
There's water coming out of the shower head. Let's see if... Shit, that's hot! Really hot! Man, that water must be just about boiling.
Uh?
There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Notice, drainage valve operation. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow. You know what? I will poke at that later.
Okay.
For now.
For some reason, what is vacuuming downstairs? That's odd. Not at this time of the night.
Maybe I can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water.
You have a bucket.
Hey, Seven, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head.
Ah, okay, sure thing.
Man,
It's filled with water.
But
Try not to spill it, okay? It's heavy. Okay. I'll carry it. If we dump this hot water over it, then we might be able to wash the dirt off. Dirt?
And then you immediately just turn it on its head.
I
Yeah,
know.
of course I did.
It looked funny like that.
Something that looks like tar inside the toilet bowl. If I flush the hot water from the bucket, that should clean it up. Oh, I get what it's asking.
the
me to do.
tank.
Alright, so I just pour the hot water into this tank and...
Looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it, right? There's probably a handle somewhere in the tank you can pull.
You think so?
I feel like it would just be easier just to directly pour it on the hot
Yeah.
water. On the hot water.
That's what I was
Why
trying
fill
at
the
first.
tank?
Well, you wouldn't get that swirl that the toilet gets, so it wouldn't clean it as
You can
good.
do that manually?
It's hot water. Were you gonna put your hand on it?
No, you simply rotate the bucket around.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when the toilet is right there? You could just flush it. It's easier.
Okay, but I would be very scared about porcelain this old just shattering from the heat.
Oh
Causing
shit, that's
this sort of
actually a good
expansion.
point.
Anyway.
That is an actual good point. Alright, pull the handle.
Wrong level, Funk.
There it goes, just like a toilet should work.
Why do we even have that lever?
That stuff's washed off. So that writing was numbers. See it?
185 equals... What is this?
You got me. This looks like numbers.
It was 624 plus 185, right?
No.
634 plus 185.
Well, it says 185 equals... Not plus 185.
Get the calculator.
There was another thing that you were... That 634 plus is the first one. And then 185 equals is the second.
Yeah, that's what I was basically saying.
Okay.
Calculator time?
Well, we have other things to do in here first.
I already checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there. Come on, man, I said I already checked them. What, you don't trust me? Jesus, Junpei, I said I checked them all!
Doors to the toilet stalls. Tana says he already checked them out. Didn't find anything, apparently. Okay.
I'm surprised that one wasn't listed there.
LLR, LRL, I think it was.
LRL. Yep.
Oh my god.
The second one it's LLLRL.
Oh. Right. Well, that did what it said on the wall. I wonder if it actually did anything.
Pipe from the right here must be connected to the drain in the middle of the room. Turn on the water here. Probably come up through the drain.
What? Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do?
I just messed with the valves a little. Nothing big.
Well, now what?
Jumpy, the card is floating. Looks like the water floated the card up out of the drain. The card's floating in the water.
You can't grab it. Oh.
Oh, please just quick degrade itself. Degrade.
Water flowing out of the drain. Oh, come on. Look, I kind of figured the drain was stuck there and I couldn't just grab it. It's the blue key card. This is, a symbol for Mercury, isn't it? There was an elevator right outside of the big hospital room. And that same symbol was on the card reader next to it. That's right. I guess that means we're not supposed to use this card in this room. Do you really think so? You don't think maybe we need it for this room and for the elevator? Okay, now let's check what's up with this.
It's a thermometer.
Can you get it off? No.
No.
It's screwed onto the wall.
No.
Handy dandy sonic screwdriver, go!
Hey, Junpei, you know why thermometers only go up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit?
Novel screen
No,
streamer.
I can't say I ever thought about that.
At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden.
RB button.
It's like when you hard-boil an egg. Even if you cool it down afterwards, it will
Alright.
go back to being a raw egg.
What?
Novel.
Press the... There you go.
I mean, I can still read the text just fine.
In other words,
But you will...
Sometimes there's actions that don't get described.
that's why thermometers
There's
don't
a
go
lot of
past
text that-
107. There's no point.
There's a lot of text that doesn't show up if it's not novel.
Okay. Why had Santa brought that up? Junpei wondered.
Oh yeah?
He continued to work at the screw.
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature up to 107. Of course, there are other external things that could.
Like what?
Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna, or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death.
Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
Junpei gave a short, barking laugh. A moment later, the screw fell off. With a small tug, Junpei pulled the thermometer from the wall.
All right, I got it.
He looked up and saw Santa glaring at a blank section of wall.
Huh? What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Santa spun around and walked off away from Junpei.
What was that all about?
As Junpei watched him go, he didn't look angry. He looked very, very sad.
What are we supposed to do with a thermostat?
I have no idea. I just took it off because I could. I feel like
But
the kind of
not-
person... So, I
What?
will say, taking this off the wall, I couldn't help but think of, like, the people who do escape rooms and get absolutely stuck and start dismantling the room, even though they're not supposed to. like people have done things like rip the outlets off of walls and stuff like that.
Oh gosh.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I just thought of that episode of SpongeBob where Plankton messed with the thermostat and then Mr. Krabs is like, "Don't touch me, thermostat!"
I just remembered, I kind of fucked up in a similar way during an escape room. There was one point that unveiled a pipe in the wall, and we were supposed to shine a flashlight that we got from elsewhere in the room into the pipe to activate a light sensor at the back end of the pipe. Well, I decided that there must be something in it, and I stuck my finger in there, and then it got stuck.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Your finger got stuck in the pipe.
Yep. Eventually got it out, but it wasted us so much time. It says open at the bottom of the gauge. I wonder what it means. Maybe when it gets that hot, something will open?
Do we put it under the water?
Yeah, if I get this hot water on the thermometer, then maybe... Alright, thermometer, let's get this party started.
Explodes and there's mercury vapor everywhere. You breathe it in and you die.
Yep, looks like that's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open one. It opened. What's this? Looks like there's a piece of paper in here. 957 plus.
That means you're supposed to add something to 957, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. The problem is, what to add?
That was Stefan's line, but okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
It looks like the red light is off.
Yeah, and it still says lock.
You think maybe we gotta disable the lock first?
Still no love from the red light.
Put on the red light. Roxanne!
Roxanne!
Put on the red light.
You know, that song has been ruined for me because my dad absolutely fucking loved it and loved to sing along to it.
Aww.
Oh, sorry.
He was an absolutely horrible singer.
Oh no.
I know how that goes.
Lock, huh? There's a blue light right next to it, but it's off.
Wishing doesn't seem to be a very effective way of getting the lights to turn on.
Alright.
You're just making me think of that scene in the Night Museum where I forget, Steve Carell or whatever the fuck, snaps his fingers, turns the lights on and off.
Never seen it.
What?
Anyway.
The password is 4 digits.
Okay.
Math time.
Thankfully, we have a calculator.
Yeah. 634.
The other part was on the toilet.
Oops.
Bring out your calc.
Well, yeah, but okay.
185 plus 634 plus 957.
Maybe we could have Blanc write it out for us.
I can't help but notice that's all 9 of the digits.
Equals. No. There's no 2 there.
Oh.
So the answer is 1806. Okay.
Oh, that's awful. There's no 2 there.
Oh.
Oh no!
Red light's on, Jumpy.
Put on a red light. Okay, I'll stop.
Great job, Jumpy. Both of the lights are on now. Now we just need to put in the password.
Both lights are on. We should be able to enter the password now.
What's with these E and C keys?
We already know.
I mean, it might be possible to reach this point without ever having to deal with one of those.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is possible.
I'm just gonna skip this because it's just tutorial text.
Tutorial. The answer is 1,806.
I think it was
What?
1505. What?
What?
Okay, well, I think we gotta check our math.
Hold on. Quiet time. 185. Okay, 185 plus
957.
Okay, so someone remember the third one.
634.
Okay.
64.
Nine eight seven.
57.
57.
957.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is probably the time to mention that the thing I'm specifically very bad at is memorizing strings of numbers.
I can get that.
What the?
177.
How did you get 1776 the last time? Or 1806?
We must have had
So,
digits wrong.
Well, for starters, I thought the thing on the broom was 987.
Oh my god. You dork!
Look, I'm trying to remember 3 strings of numbers. It's hard, okay?
It is
We
hard.
said it was 957. You dweeb.
You absolute himbo.
Okay.
You found it.
In
you
my
goof.
defense, the one thing that's been going through my head this entire time in the room is call 187 on a motherfucking cop.
Why?
Wow.
Because it's stuck in my head. It's a good
Okay,
song.
and in my defense, April 27th, 1992 is a classic West Coast song. Like,
True, that might
It
have
is-
something to do with it, because it's West Coast. Why we know it and you guys don't.
okay, I grew up in Florida and Indiana, but when I moved to Washington, I knew about it even before I moved to Washington.
Well, whatever.
Let's continue.
Yes, please.
Outside the shower room was a hallway that extended off to the left and right.
There's a large iron door at the end.
Let's take a look.
It moved a few steps toward the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal.
Huh?
They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room.
What are you doing, Seven?
Well, I figure maybe we might want to come back here sometime.
Yeah, he did that with the other room we went to him with, too.
So, I stuck the broom in there to keep the door from shutting. Alright, let's go.
Like, once again, Seven is the real MVP. With that,
Indeed.
he stood up and began walking down the hallway. He brushed past Junpei and kept going. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at the large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
Jumpy, look!
He turned. There, on the right side of the hallway, was a piece of paper attached to the wall.
What's up?
What's that on the wall there?
Oh, I think it's
Junpei ran over and peeled it off.
a map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor then. We'll have time to study it later. Let's keep going for now.
Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Back at the door, the four of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. All four of them leapt through.
What the?
You're shitting me.
It took only a moment for them to realize where they were.
We're back.
They had been there only a short time ago. It was the large hospital room filled with countless beds. Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he had only just woken up.
Clover! Lotus! And Ace! I'm glad you're all okay. Lotus? What are you...
The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. As she neared him,
We are
Lotus
gonna
threw
get
back her
punched.
hand. Oh, we deserve it.
Yeah.
Slapped him, open palmed across the face.
How could you do this to us?
Her face was furious. She grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them.
Knock it off! We got bigger shit to worry about right now.
His deep voice echoed across the massive room. Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake.
What?
Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there, the one without a number. As long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut, so you can get in there.
Wait, Seven, maybe you should...
There's a shower room past there. I stuck a broom at the door there, too. Anyway, go take a look.
What's up?
Maybe, Seven, maybe you should warn them and not tell Clover to go?
Yeah.
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 You're saying we can go in there without passing through the numbered door?
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Wait, what the hell is in there?
You'll know when you see it.
Fine, let's go.
Lotus and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through the door. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who has only just awoken from a lengthy slumber.
My goodness. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head weakly.
Should I go as well?
Yeah.
Seven nodded.
Very well.
Ace followed Lotus and Clover with a stiff, tired gait. Okay, I've been calling Seven the MVP this whole time, but you didn't have to send Clover to see that.
Yeah.
A squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time, it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of... You know, I think we have seen this bit.
Yes, we have.
We have.
Skip.
Oh. Well, okay, so correction. You don't want to jump at this point. This is a
Then you're
different
saying that
case
Zero
this
is trying to
time.
split us up by making us fight?
Yes, that is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion.
What was that, Suki?
So, skipping in the dialogue is fine, but do not jump this time.
Do not... Oh, you know, I'll say I wasn't
He's
sure
saying
this
not to
time.
move to another point.
Oh, okay. He wasn't sure.
Something's still strange.
Hmm? What was that?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrows shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp. Isn't it obvious?
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Zero said, "this ship," several times when he addressed us. If he weren't here, he wouldn't say this ship, would he? He'd be saying something like, that ship, or the ship.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish that he hadn't seen it himself. Still, he
I
was
don't
left
buy
with
it.
a question, and it was one of no small
If
importance.
Zero's on the ship, where is he?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise. And moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. Let's see. Am I back to... Yep. He could be any one of us. You know, I'm gonna say that's possible just because I said the other thing last time.
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
No reason. I've got a great reason. And what's that?
The bracelets.
He held out his left arm.
Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
Huh. You got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Seven, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us. Seven and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because,
Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed.
So much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring.
Blanc brought
Then
up
we need to
something
move
important,
now.
but I'll be going over it in a moment.
Seven, Clover, Junpei. I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
You're right, but...
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. Seven and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
Our next destination is Mercury. Here we go.
They stood in front of the elevators next to the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen. Between the two elevators was a card reader with the Mercury symbol engraved on it. Okay, I've not seen this. Junpei stood in front of it with the Mercury key card.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, I found it in the shower room.
Yeah, you would know. You were there.
Oh, I see. It's got the Mercury symbol.
He took a deep breath and slid the card through the reader. It made a small beep, and the lights on the reader blinked to life.
Now we can go.
7 people, including Junpei, climbed onto the elevator.
Looks like there's only 2 floor buttons working.
C and bottom.
The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed.
Time to head down then.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Look, I was thinking it quite loudly. Slowly, they began to move downward.
Wait,
Sometime
Tazi,
later-
did you just say who wouldn't?
What?
Never mind. What it?
I didn't say anything.
Anyway,
Oh.
sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end. Not a regular dead end.
This is a numbered door.
Yeah, it's door 2.
Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it.
So who should go through the door this time?
We don't need to be discussing who we're leaving behind this time, right?
Right. It's set up so we'll be able to meet up again once we get through the numbered doors.
Then there's no need for arguments at this point.
We should figure out who's going in first.
Very well. Would anyone like to volunteer?
I'll do it.
The first to speak up was 7.
I'll go too.
And I suppose I need to go too then.
Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was, by default, the 3rd member.
Alright,
All
Loey,
right,
Hannah,
we're
you're
taking
up.
off.
Okie dokie.
Okay, please
Oh,
be
thank
careful.
goodness I can take a break.
Jesus. You two are acting like you're married, you know that?
Oh,
June blushed. So did Junpei.
Don't be silly. Cut it out.
Perhaps in an attempt to hide his emotions, he quickly turned away to pull the lever on the red.
Okay, cats, I'll feed you. Come on.
Man, that would be tragic after that. Come on, don't be silly, cut it out. He went through and then blew up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The door opened. As they'd come to expect, there appeared to be a short hallway on the other side.
All right, let's go.
Lotus was the first through the door.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
7 was next, and Junpei brought up the rear.
Where the hell is it this time?
I don't see it!
Oh, there it is! It's right there!
Fortunately, it took them only moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the numbered door. Man, why can't they all be like that? They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of their bracelets.
It stopped.
Yeah, it stopped.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. 7 and Lotus were breathing hard and fast.
Man, I'll never get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Damn right.
All right.
Junpei looked around again.
This hallway's pretty short, but it's got 5 doors. 3 on the left, and only 1 on the right.
Don't forget the last one at the end of the hall.
But it's got a metal plate over it, so I doubt we're gonna get anywhere that way.
After taking a look around the room himself, 7 spoke.
All right, let's get started. I think we'd probably better split up. You two okay with that?
Yes, no problem.
Sure thing.
Then I'll take this first one.
7 nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him.
I'll try the one next to it.
Just a thought. I just realized that, like, we went through with the team that we went through with, but we could have added Santa and Ji-un, and it still would have worked.
We could have.
It might maybe would have compromised the other door.
What other door?
The door the other team went through.
What other door, Loey?
There were-
We don't have another option at this point.
Yeah, because we didn't go
Oh,
through 7 and 8. We couldn't access the other 2 doors.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this is why you're pigeonholed into room 2 if you go through door 3.
Oh yeah.
At last, Junpei was left
Well,
alone.
I guess I'd better get started too.
He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors.
Welcome everyone to the confinement room.
Well, that's
Time to
cheery.
sneak a way out.
Now, what Blanc brought up is very important. There's actually a iOS port of 999 that if you choose the door number 3, there is a unique ending. Only to that version.
You know, I'm not surprised, considering that's the ending where we get Santa royally pissed off at us. We, going through that route, we have likely traumatized June twice. So, yeah.
It's called the syringe ending. The gist is, Clover has a much worse reaction to her brother's body, runs off, everyone goes searching for her, and then she jumps Junpei with a Sopril needle, who ends up falling into water and dies.
There's a door in the back. I wonder where it goes.
I thought of that. Tried a couple of things. But yeah, same result.
Guess 7 wasn't about to do anything. Oh well. Man, this is a mess. It's not even a bed anymore.
Can't say I want to sleep there.
This bed is really dirty.
Ew.
I can feel fleas just looking at that.
Yeah.
Like, this whole escape room is like chilling to me.
There's a dirty blanket on the bed.
I'm uncomfortable.
I imagine he goes to lift up the blanket, and instead of bending and folding like a blanket does, it just lifts up as one solid piece like a cracker.
Yeah. Ugh.
Or worse yet, it snaps like a cracker.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's so thread worn, it just turns into dust. No one left. There's no toilet roll here.
A toilet paper.
The savages.
You have your hand.
Oh, this part is thinner than the rest. In fact, this doesn't really look like it's part of the rest of this thing. This rod feels loose. Maybe if I give it a couple of turns. Here we go.
Somewhere in here there is a bucket of sand they intend you to use instead.
Yep, to wipe your ass.
Hey, Junpei, you're breaking the escape room. Stop it. Hey, this is a screwdriver set.
Huh? Something litter box, something furries.
Oh my god.
I was making a JoJo reference, but that works too.
Yeah, we were making a JoJo reference where Joseph is trying to find the toilet with Iggy, and he realizes you just shit in the hole.
We don't need to elaborate on it.
Oh.
Hey, this is.
I thought he might not remember the scene.
Nope.
Even if we run to a screw it fits, we're gonna have a hard time of it without a handle.
Oh.
Well, if we can find a handle, maybe then it'll do us some good.
Can I actually say something when it comes to using a screwdriver?
What's up?
Can you guys easily use one hand to use a screwdriver? I have to use both my hands.
Yeah, one hand easily.
Yeah. I mean, I have to use my other hand to steady the object, but.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I mean, that's not using two hands for the screwdriver. That's using one hand for the screwdriver and one hand for the other for the object you're screwdrivering.
Yeah, I think that's just normal, because if the object is able to move in any way, you can't screw it.
I don't know. I think it's the wrist motion that I still don't know how to get down even after all these years. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed.
Possibly.
It might be that might be also because a lot of screws are like, you know, left. The direction is left loose, right tight. So that's probably a lot more awkward for a left-handed person.
Possibly.
Yeah. Whenever, like, I remember the games, for example, that on the Nintendo 3DS that asked you to spin the stylus in a circle clockwise. I have a much easier time going counterclockwise.
Yeah,
I can see that. Hey, this handle's pretty loose.
Loose? Think it'll come off if you pull on it? It fell off. Huh. Look at this. The handle doesn't really fit on the string. Maybe it wasn't meant to be attached to it.
Well, we know what to do.
Take a look at this handle. Inside the hole's threaded, like you're supposed to screw something in there. See anything that might fit in there?
Gee, I wonder.
I wonder why.
So if I just stick this metal rod into the handle.
Giggity.
Thank God it's the right kind of screwdriver for that screw. What screw, Junpei? We haven't seen shit. This is the first thing we checked. Awesome, we can totally use this.
Giggity.
Huh? What was that?
Never mind.
Giggity.
Oh,
Kaze, do not make me break out the karate chop action.
damn, this
No,
screwdriver looks
it's all wrong. It's a horny bat.
Anyway.
You weren't here for Master Detective Archives, anyway.
Damn, this screwdriver looks like a soldering iron. You think it's some sort of industrial grade screwdriver? Guess that doesn't really matter. Anyways, as long as we got this thing, we can unscrew any Phillips screws we run into.
Man, it just makes me think. At my house, we have so many, like, flatheads, so when I'm trying to find a fucking Phillips head, I'm like, where the fuck is the right one?
This looks like
Please
a
carry.
toilet.
Wow, Junpei. Pretty old school toilet.
Wow.
That's the toilet.
Guess that makes sense though. The ship seems pretty old too. Gigantic or whatever.
That's a sun symbol.
The symbol on the toilet, huh? Seems a little fishy to me.
Alternatively, a compass. It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the ones on the doors. Alright, let's check out this.
You know what I missed? Yeah, it looks like a swirly.
Yeah,
swirly
it looks
dude.
like a freaking Silent Hill save point.
The heck?
There's a little tile in the drain.
Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to pull it out of there.
We have to use our heads on this one.
No, my
Okay,
head's a bit too
Junpei just.
blunt. I can't.
I was gonna say, Junpei goes, okay, and then smacks his head on the tile.
Just sticks his head in the sink.
Exactly.
Alright, let's figure this thing out.
This tile's stuck in the drain.
Huh. Looks like the water doesn't work.
Doesn't matter how much Seven turns that thing, no water's coming out. Has the water been shut off from somewhere else?
What the hell is this supposed to be?
A whirlpool?
Like a drawing of a whirlpool or something?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's trying to look like water.
It's the symbol for the Uzumaki clan, obviously.
Ugh.
This chair's pretty old. If Seven sat on it, it'd probably break.
Huh? Say something?
Squish.
Nothing at all.
Even I wouldn't squish that chair.
Squish, squish.
Oh, it'll squish alright as soon as you touch it.
Fair enough.
This thing's really simple. Is it really a desk?
Well, of course it's gonna be simple. I mean, it's probably like that so we don't try to use it as part of the puzzle, right? Probably use a desk to write letters to your family or something, but this is a boat. I bet the only thing they used this for was eating off of.
Or writing.
It's only one drawer.
Huh? What the hell? It's not opening.
There's something up with this drawer. I don't trust it.
Unscrew it. Wow, they really had to have a close-up for the screw.
Yes.
Yep, really.
Sweet. Got the screws off.
Suspicious.
Now we can open the drawer.
I just put.
There's nothing in here.
Well, maybe the drawer is what we need.
The drawer, huh?
Alright, let's yank the thing out.
Okay, I've never seen someone stick a dress drawer in their pocket, but you know what? It's the first time for everything.
I mean,
Phoenix Wright can carry anything he wants in his pockets, so he's so confused.
yeah.
Fair enough.
There's a bump on the back.
There's a bump on the back, Junpei.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Not bad. I wonder what it's for.
Maybe there's a hole somewhere and these bumps line up with a trigger hidden switch or something. Hey, we seen weird stuff. Doesn't seem that far-fetched.
Ugh, I just put on my glasses for the first time in like over a year after finally getting them adjusted. I feel a bit woozy.
You should wear your glasses way more.
I can.
You wear glasses?
I cannot go without wearing my glasses. My head hurts if I don't.
I have glasses for like there's I forget if it's nearsightedness or farsightedness, but I have one of them. I haven't worn them in a year because they've basically been so because I sat on them at some point and the thing basically was super unaligned and we never had time to actually go get them fixed until
I have never seen you wear glasses ever in my entire life that I've known you.
And meanwhile, I can't go without glasses because if I do, everything is blurry as shit. I can take them off right now, and I can.
Thankfully,
literally, I
can.
can. I cannot. Like literally, I took them off right now, and I can no longer read the text on my full HD, like 24-inch screen. That is maybe a foot away from my eyes.
Alright, anyway.
Thankfully, my sight is not that bad.
Anyway.
I'm guessing you just use it for, like, reading or small text. Anyway, let's continue.
And
that bed looks cold. Pretty sure you'd freeze to death in the winter.
No kidding. I don't know how to do lotuses. If I tried to sleep here, my skin would dry out in no time.
Well, it's not like you're that young anymore. That shouldn't really matter.
The fuck you just say? My Junpei, aren't you lucky? It seems you'll die before you have a chance to grow old and hideous.
I'm sorry, you're right. Dry skin is a woman's worst enemy.
Oh, don't I know it, especially in the winter when my legs are all itchy. Ugh, that sucks.
Hey.
Does this sound alright? Like, well, it looks like a towel.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to wonder if the design means anything, though. Maybe you should consider what the design might be. Perhaps that'll give us a hint? When I try to do characters' voices, I try to match it as close as to their voice as possible.
Same.
So it's still a terrible bed. I'd never sleep on a bed like that. Neither would I. That is a shit-looking bed.
These rooms are so gross, dude.
Yeah, I know, it's icky.
It's just hanging from the wall.
Well, if we're pulling the string, then it must be a toilet that flushes.
What is all this shit on the
paper seems to be pretty old.
Let's not think about it. Ew, how the hell can you touch that?
I mean, to me it looks like peeling paint. I've seen a number of places that look like that.
No, it looks like stains. Let's continue. It's horrible.
Well, it's not like I've really got a choice, do I? It's not like I want to. Half-used toilet paper? Well, it's old and it's kind of grossing me out, but there's nothing suspicious about it.
Check the toilet. A moon? What a filthy, disgusting moon.
Yeah, it's pretty filthy, but it's a precious hint. Let's remember it, alright?
I would not even swear on that moon. In the name of that moon. I refuse to touch this! Refuse!
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't want to touch it! Ever! I wouldn't either. Especially a toilet that dank? Hell no.
So you take the moon and you take the sun.
You take everything that seems like fun.
This looks like part of the design on the towel. Do you think that means anything?
On the towel, it looks like water's flowing from the river to the spring. Do you think that means we need to make water flow from here?
Oh, I think I got it. So, these sinks, they're on opposite sides of this wall, right? No, it's not just the sinks. Everything's opposite, like a mirror image.
So? That's normal if you're using both the same water pipes, right?
This train is kind of a weird shape for a train. You think they made it that shape for a reason? Or just for fun? There's no knob on this faucet. There's no way we can get water out of it like this.
If we can find a knob or something that'll work as one, then we should be able to get water to come out of this thing. Alright, stupid idea. Do you think you could use your towel on the sink?
I mean, I had the towel selected the whole time. If I could have, it would have.
Oh, fair enough.
This looks like a chair for prisoners. It's rusty, but I don't think it's gonna be a lot of help.
Isn't that obvious? Look, I don't want to touch anything unless I have to.
Lotus is not having this. Does she really not want to be in this room that bad?
To be fair, I wouldn't either, but in a life or death situation, I'd be the same. Take the knob. There's nothing in the drawer.
Yeah, something's not right though. The handle in that drawer doesn't really fit, you know? It just looks messy.
Why don't you take it out?
Hello?
So, there's a mirror on this other side of this drawer. Interesting. It's kind of an odd shape. It looks like someone attached the handle with a screw after the fact. Where are we supposed to use this?
If I use the screwdriver on the screw on the center of the handle, maybe I can... Oh, that came off easily
Well,
enough.
that came off. That's my line, Junpei. It looks like a faucet handle. Don't make me bitch slap you again.
Yeah, it seems a little weird to put it on a wooden drawer like this.
I'm sure they made it look odd on purpose. With a shape like that, there's only one place it could go.
Oh, shit.
Junpei, what's that lump behind the drawer?
Don't ask me.
Oh, don't boys love that sort of thing? Sticking triangle pegs into square holes?
I have no
I
idea
just
what you're on
figured
about.
you know.
No mirror on that one. Sweet, the handle I got off that drawer fits onto the faucet perfectly. Now I can turn the water on.
Turn it on. Junpei, what are you doing?
Pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water.
I can see that. I'm asking you why you're just letting it run like that.
Think about it, Lotus. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it, right?
What do you mean?
Just watch. Anytime now.
Hey, water's filling up! Doesn't that just mean the pipes are clogged?
Let's turn it off for now.
So, did anything change?
The water stopped flowing.
Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Oh, Junpei, I'm leaving this one to you, alright? I'm thinking of a very similar, very certain puzzle in the witch's house.
This sink is totally filled with water. Is the drain clogged? Looks like a lot of the water isn't draining out of the sink. Oh, let me go check 7 real quick.
Yeah. Yes, let's go.
Seven, you're up.
7. So we got this tile. And it's got these red, blue, and gray lines. What the heck does this stuff mean?
Hell if I know.
I mean, we've got a tile, a towel, and a...
Junpei put the wet tile into his pocket. He was about to turn away when... There's a noise behind him.
What the?
He spun around to see 7 kneeling on the floor. His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead.
Hey, what's going on? Are you okay, man? You're sweating like crazy. Are you all right?
He was concerned. He'd never seen 7 like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy, that's all.
His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt.
That's definitely more than just a little dizzy. Are you sure? You don't look so good.
Seven didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted as if distorted by extreme pain, and his eyes were glazed. Finally, he spoke.
What am I doing here?
Huh?
His words made no sense.
What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot.
No, that's not what I mean.
He shook his head several times, as if trying to clear something from it.
It ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back. I think I've been here before.
Huh?
I said I've been in this room before.
You were here? When? Why?
Aoi. Like Nona.
Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. There were words Junpei didn't understand. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he'd said.
What the hell was that?
Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth.
It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't.
Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. And suddenly, he looked up, his eyes wide.
That's right, an experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on this ship.
An experiment?
Just like with Clover.
What sort of experiment?
They were trying to control people. Or something like that.
What the hell are you talking about?
Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared as Seven continued.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment, I mean. I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here.
Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling, and there were odd twitches to his movements.
Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case?
Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei.
Huh?
Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped.
Wait, under this bed.
He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again.
The home's gone? No, maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one.
At last, Junpei could contain himself no longer.
Hey, what exactly do you remember? Maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on here.
Seven stood up slowly.
Well, it's not like I really remember everything. I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense.
I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then.
Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important.
Okay!
Seven drew a large, muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke.
From what I can remember, I think I was a cop.
A cop?
Yeah. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
You remember that, right? It was all over the news.
Yeah, I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it. I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why. It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals that had something to do with those kids. After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. I think it was...
Where have these 16 boys and girls disappeared to? We turned them on Akuma for more information.
Oh no.
Also, now I'm wondering if this might be the one that continues after we were with Clover in what was that? Door 7?
Yes.
Also, I posted a
Tonight,
picture for
a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger
enjoyment
liner docked
of me
offshore.
wearing glasses.
Yeah, that had to be...
You actually kind of look good with glasses, no lie.
That's why I went to the wharf. In the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand. Don't move. I felt metal touch the back of my head. Drop the gun. I kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. Did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. Needle. A drug? That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it! Shit, my head hurts. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink, a toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... it won't open. Not like I expected much else. It would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5, or 6, maybe more. Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit, but I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold on. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then... Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch? I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside.
Junpei waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank.
Hey, what happened after that?
He'd waited long enough, but Seven shook his head.
I don't remember what happens after that. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct, and I think I found some kids too. Not good. Why can't I remember what happened next?
Ah, man, what happened to the kids, Seven? Did you save them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I've got this feeling. I think one of the kids died. A girl, I think.
Huh?
Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old, abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke.
Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else.
After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the man.
It's fine. Don't push yourself. Going by what he said?
Junpei left Seven to pull himself together, and instead began thinking everything over.
The children who had been kidnapped 9 years before? Apparently a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals had been behind it all. They'd taken the children to the same ship we're on now. They had been brought here for an experiment. Seven said it had something to do with controlling human beings. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects. Seven had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. I think that's all I got. Oh, and Seven is, or was at some point, a cop. We can't really use any of this information anyway. I didn't learn anything about the Nonary game or Zero. Why were we brought to the same ship where they'd done those experiments 9 years ago?
Nonary game.
What the heck is this about controlling human beings? That's nuts. Did they really conduct an experiment?
It's
like
yeah, don't worry about it.
Nona is Zero. Before long, Junpei realized he had spent quite some time deep in thought.
I don't have time to just stand here thinking. I need to get moving.
Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind. Okay, let's finally check that last door.
Oh, Jesus, it's dark in here.
It's a blanket. Not a really great one, but still. This light's barely enough to see by. I feel like I'm gonna see a ghost here or something. What's the deal with the lighting here? There's just this one beam of light. The rest of the place is too dark. I can't see anything. There's no way we can explore the rest of this room.
Oh, I know what we can do.
It's a sink, but there's no light shining on it. It's hard to be sure because it's so dark here. I don't think there's anything going on with the sink. The faucet is too hard to turn. In the other room, the river and the spring went together to solve the puzzle. Does it mean there might be a similar puzzle with this mirror? Well, there's nothing else here apart from the mirror. Maybe I just need to pair something with this mirror. There's a mirror in the back of the room, hung opposite this one. The only difference between them is whether or not they're reflecting any light. This desk is old and rusty. God damn it! No matter how hard I pull on this damn thing, it won't budge. So I won't be opening this anytime soon. Doesn't look like it's got a keyhole. There doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How the hell am I supposed to open it? Drawer that doesn't open. I wonder if this is part of a puzzle. I can just barely see a mirror from the light coming through the ceiling. Sure would be nice if that mirror was a little lower down. It looks like it's the same height as the mirror on the right. I wonder if that means anything. So all I'm gonna be able to use this mirror for is reflecting stuff, right? There's nothing else we can do with it? Other stuff to do with it. You wanna break it? I don't think that's a good idea. Well, this room was a bust.
Not necessarily, I think.
The tiles we found and the tiles here are the same size. What do you mean, tiles? When I touched the tiles on the door, I felt something weird. Huh? I can move these tiles.
You can't move these tiles.
That means if you swap the tiles we got with the ones on the wall, something will happen.
Man, way to spoil things.
I suppose now we just need to figure out what that strange design on these tiles is. At any rate, we should look for all the tiles that are the same size.
You're right. Let's meet back here after we've done a thorough search.
Actually, Earth, can you humor me for a moment? Go back into the room you were just in.
Yeah?
Can you examine the beam of light at all?
Yeah. Well, yeah, let me try it with the, Oh yeah, we can probably use this mirror to reflect the light.
There you go.
Dang.
Ocarina of Time, baby!
I mean, that's what I was trying with multiple things when I was checking with the thing, but it was finicky about what exactly I had to check.
Well, to be fair, you're not going to reflect a mirror with another mirror. You got to put the mirror on the light.
Well, I was thinking, like, reflect the light into the mirror with this mirror.
Yeah, but you didn't. But you need to get the mirror under the light first.
Anyway, now we just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. Maybe if I go somewhere that's a little easier to shine light on.
I think you have to examine one of the mirrors.
I shine light on the mirror in the back. Is that a number? So if I shine light on this mirror, then I get to see some numbers. I can see a 4 on the left and a 7 on the right. 4 and 7.
Oh, hey, that's an important number.
So if I shine this light on the mirror in back, I get it. If I shine light on a mirror, symbols appear. The left side has a sun, and the right has a moon symbol. I'm gonna remember this.
Is there anything else we can look at?
Okay, it's nice to see the sink lit up, but all it shows me is the pipe.
You still don't know what to use the towel for.
No, but I'm starting to get an idea. No, not this one.
I know it's for gameplay reasons and because you can go through the rooms in whatever order, but it would be pretty funny if it was like, oh, we need a screwdriver for this room. It's like, I already have 2.
What the heck are we supposed to use this towel for? This toilet is disgusting. You don't expect me to touch that thing, do you?
If you don't want to, then I'll do it, alright? Surprisingly, Lotus refuses to go anywhere near it. So this is what the moon symbol was pointing to, huh? Probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. If that's the case...
Open up the toilet.
Same as the moon symbol we saw in that dark room.
Right, there was a number 2 there too, right? Number. That's probably how many times you're supposed to flush. Ugh, I mean, how many times do you pull the string? You pull that 7 times.
Yep.
Just a question real quick.
Uh-huh.
You still have both drawers in your possession, right?
Yes. Huh? Did you hear something?
I heard a loud flushing noise.
No, not that.
Not in the sink? In the bed? Maybe you're supposed to do it for the other side.
It's just like the sun symbol we saw in that dark room.
Yeah, that's right. There was some kind of number hint there too. You think maybe the number was how many times we took a piss? Nah, it's gotta be how many times we flushed.
4 times.
The only thing you can manipulate in this room is that string. Chances are they made this puzzle so someone wouldn't trigger it by accident.
A 1.
Guess I should keep pulling on this then. Alright, here goes. Second pull.
2.
1. A 2.
3.
3.
3.
There it is again. It makes some kind of weird sound when I pull on that string. Same thing happened in the other room. That means...
I don't know. Don't you think it's a little suspicious that the other room gave us a hint to figure out this one?
You're right. The room next door is just like this one, so that leaves the dark room.
I guess it's time to check that drawer.
Yep.
Hey!
Well, this drawer opens easily enough.
4 tiles.
Bunch of weird lines on this tile thing. I don't get this. I don't think that I can figure this one out on my own.
They look exactly the same.
But they do.
Can you combine them?
Nope.
No, huh? I have no idea what we're gonna use the second drawer for, though.
I already took the drawer out of this desk. Aw.
And where are we supposed to use them?
You're not necessarily on the wrong track.
Yeah.
Take a look at this tile here. See if you look real close. The three red lines on top of the other ones.
The red lines?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
A tile with 3 lines in it, huh? Hey Junpei, I was thinking. The red line on top. Doesn't it look like a 14?
Yeah, it does.
14, huh? Yeah, I guess it kinda does.
I'm still absolutely baffled on where the fuck we're supposed to use this towel.
Okay, let's ask, Lotus. No comment, huh?
It's a towel with a river and a spring drawn on it. The river looks just like the design in this mirror.
It's a towel with a river and a spring drawn on it. Part of it looks just like a design on the mirror.
I'm so confused.
Since we are over time, would you like some assistance?
Not quite yet. Sounded like something falling. What was that?
I heard it too. Let's open the drawer. Oh, another tile. Wait. How are you gonna put that?
Does anyone else hear hot cross buns when you go into a door?
No.
I was thinking 3 blind mice.
Oh
yeah,
my God, you
3
guys.
blind mice and hot cross buns are the same melody.
Huh.
The drawing on the mirror looks like part of the design of the towel. The design of the towel was a river and a spring, right?
The picture on this mirror is a spring, and it's talking about the water in the sink. So it's trying to show water flowing from the river and gathering in the spring?
What are you going on about? Maybe you ought to explain?
Forget about the puzzle we already solved. We need to look for new ones. This spring indicated sinks full of water.
So, yeah, I think you already did what you needed to with the towel. I also think you have everything you need to do to solve the ring completely now.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're investigated all the rooms. The only mystery left is that door.
Alright, let's crack that mystery then.
We got 4 tiles.
And there are a bunch of tiles of the same size up on that wall there.
So if we replace 4 of the tiles on that wall with ones we've got, that should open the door. Well, if there's one way to find out. Oh. E.
Haha, base 9.
Hey, did you just hear something unlock? Does that mean we got it right? So yeah, I figured since we had 4 tiles that were identical, we just swap it for the only letter that appears 4 times.
So, their justification is that 14 is in base 9 is E. I solved this because, 1 plus 4 equals 5, and E is the 5th letter of the alphabet.
I mean, a different process of finding the same solution?
Yeah, like, if you give me 4 things that are all exactly the same, surely they must all be used for the exact same purpose.
E! Thank you, Dragon Cat.
E! Now I'm just thinking of Rush E.
Anyway.
The 14 hidden on the tile. If you convert it to hexadecimal, it's an E.
Basically, the E's in emergence are the 14s from the tiles. So if you replace it, it gives up the answer.
Do you really care why it worked? Let's just get out of here.
We found it!
Yes, let's go.
Do you think we can end it right here?
As soon as we get into the entrance of the next room so that we can actually save. Because, once again, there's 2 rooms.
They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around.
The hell is this?
What the hell is this place?
The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and Seven reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified.
Ugh, this room is really creepy.
I think we ought to get the hell out of here now.
Yeah, I think I recognize what that chair is.
Yeah.
He jogged upstairs on the opposite side of the room and shook the door on the wall next to the catwalk. Let's just say there's a reason why the armrests have straps.
Yeah.
It didn't open, and he muttered to himself.
Figures.
It's locked, isn't it?
Yep. Don't know why I thought this would be any different.
So, what is this room for, anyway?
Junpei looked around the room again.
Well, there's a chair in the center of the room.
Oh, looks uncomfortable to say the least. I'd rather not sit in it if I can avoid it.
The back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires.
It looks like it's placed over some kind of glass panel. Too dark to look through it, though.
Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth.
This isn't dried blood on the tablecloth, is it?
On top of the table were a number of metal instruments. Junpei didn't know what they were for, and he had a feeling he didn't want to find out.
Oh, what the hell is this? What are these tools for?
That's not something I even want to think about.
Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it. He tried to focus on something else.
No doubt about it. This room's dangerous. Let's make our search quick so we can solve the puzzle and get the hell out of here. Come on.
Yeah, Seven,
And
about
next
that.
time,
You're gonna be
we're
stuck in
gonna
here for a
escape
week.
from the torture room.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We're in Don Corneo's BDSM dungeon.
All right. So, next time we get to see a brand new ending. Maybe we won't die this time. Fingers crossed.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly, hopefully.
But, that is something we'll find out next time. For now, I shall see you all later.
Bye.
Take care.
Until next time, remember to eat.